Oscar season is upon us, and one of the indie films getting a lot of buzz for possible contention at this year's Academy Awards is a French film called Anatomy of a Fall, and it is in theaters right now. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It, and welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new film Anatomy of a Fall. This is playing in select theaters right now. Going to be probably at your more independent theaters, but some of the big chains may be running it as well if they have enough screens there. But this is generating some buzz for potential Oscar consideration in a lot of categories, including screenplay. Best Picture is being talked about. I think the most obvious nomination here may be for Sandra Hüller for her leading performance here for Best Actress. So we will see what shakes out. There's still a lot of movies I have not seen yet for Oscar contention. Oppenheimer is an obvious choice. The new Scorsese movie is an obvious choice. Killers of the Flower Moon, which I still have not seen. This one may be less of an obvious choice, but people are certainly talking about this, and it won the Palme d'Or at Cannes. So obviously that is a big stepping stone. Now, I don't know if it will be in contention for best foreign language film or not, because even though it is a French film, it is only really about maybe half in French and half in English. I'm not sure what their sort of threshold is at the Oscars for that. But anyway, I think this is one that will be talked more and more as award season sort of gets underway. But before I launch into my thoughts on the film, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We do movie and TV reviews here on the channel, and every day, just about, I try to post something new. So always a lot to check out. Please consider subscribing down below, or even hit that notification bell so you get the alerts of all my movie and TV reviews that I drop. All right, so this is directed by Justine Triet and co-written by her as well. She is only the third director of a female persuasion ever to win the Palme d'Or at Cannes. So could there be a Best Director nomination at the Oscars? I don't know. But basically, this movie is all about this couple, the husband of which who dies at the beginning of the film. So Sandra Hüller plays the wife, Sandra, and her lawyer is played by Swan Arlaud. He's getting some accolades for his performance as well. But you also have the son, who is blind legally from an accident that happened long ago. And the movie basically is an investigation and legal matter into did this husband commit suicide, or was he murdered? He fell off of the top floor of the house. And so what exactly happened? He was found in the snow. We see all this, right in the first scene. So that's not really giving anything away. That's the basis for the film. But as we, move forward here into the investigation, then we get the last really, half or 2/3 of the movie is sort of the courtroom, battle. And we see, many people, talking on her behalf and not, and, giving theories of what might have happened. It is a really, I thought, really interesting movie. But the mileage certainly is going to vary on this. The buddy that I went with really did not care for it, and he usually does kind of get into these more Oscar sort of centric movies. So that was interesting. And the couple women that were behind us in the theater, one of them remarked on the way out, "Oh, well, there's 2.5 hours of my life I'll never get back," or whatever. So I thought, okay, I kind of really like this movie. Maybe I'm insane, but then I looked at the Rotten Tomatoes score. It's like a 96% or something. So I'm like, okay, I'm in good company then with digging this movie. I thought her performance was phenomenal, and I'm unfamiliar with this woman. I don't really watch nearly as many foreign movies as I'd like to, or as I probably should. So I did not know Sandra Hüller, but she is excellent here. Certainly it is one of the top female performances that I have seen this year. There's a lot of nuance there with, first of all, as we just get to know her in the first scene, she is a writer, her character, and basically she's being interviewed while the husband is upstairs playing his music very loudly, and then as we sort of rewind some of the scenes from her marriage and stuff, we realize, okay, this is a marriage that was sort of failing and on the rocks and all of these things, but does that mean she's a murderer? We don't know. And we go through the investigation portion and then the courtroom portion. I found it all very riveting, and largely because of her excellent performance. And of course, she as the character is holding her truth pretty close to the vest. Did she commit this murder? We in the audience don't really know. Now, I do think one of my flaws that I have with the movie is that I do think that it's not as ambiguous at the end as I would have liked. And I'm not even going to tell you, what happens or in which direction they go. I don't do spoilers for my new movie reviews, but I would have liked a little more of an ambiguous ending. Where I kind of stood, it seemed very obvious what happened by the end of the picture. The whole way we don't necessarily know, but and the guy I spoke to at the independent movie theater, he said, oh, it was my favorite movie of the year. So when we came out, he was like, oh, what'd you think? And I was like, I really would have liked to have seen a more ambiguous ending. And he didn't quite feel the same way about that. So I don't know. Maybe I'm reading something into it that was not there. I don't know. But for me, it seemed very clear cut what they wanted you to believe at the end of the picture. And the only other flaw I could say is I don't know that it needs to be 2.5 hours. I think we could have done with maybe a little over 2 would have been fine. But it was interesting to see how a French courtroom deals with things. We see tons of American and Canadian and even British, courtroom dramas. And so we see sort of how those, unfold. I would imagine this is pretty realistic to how the French legal system really works. I don't know, but it seems like a movie that did its homework. So I thought that part was very intriguing because it is a bit different from how we do it here in America, and thereby different from most of the movies and TV shows that I've seen in that regard. Look, I thought this was a very, very riveting movie. I do think the best chance at the Oscars that this has for a nomination is in the Best Actress category. I think maybe screenplay as well might do well. But I leave Anatomy of a Fall with an A-. I thought it was a really, really good movie, and you can see that now in theaters. All right, thank you so much for watching Dan Reviews It. We'll see you next time. Bye.